Hello and welcome to this week's Herbal Spotlight. I'm your herbalist, Elle, with Wild and Rooted Organics. And this week, I'm bringing you a little bit of a controversial plant. So, this plant has been the subject of many movies, TV shows, songs. People have created their entire career off of this one plant alone. This plant was declared war against in 1971 by Richard Nixon, and unfortunately to this day, many people sit incarcerated for this plant alone. This plant also happens to have its own holiday, which is today. So, I am speaking about cannabis. Crickets, right? Cannabis. That's right. So, as a disclaimer, let's put this in here. 1, I am not a medical professional, cannot diagnose and or treat. Anytime you are adding a new herb or supplement, please speak with your healthcare provider. 2, I am not speaking about the illegal side of this plant that contains THC, which at this time is illegal on a federal level. I do look forward to the day that that changes, but as of right now, Now, back to our regular scheduled program. Cannabis. What is cannabis? Well, the word cannabis is kind of like a catch-all name or a family name or something like that. Cannabis actually has 2 different children. One being marijuana. That's illegal and contains THC. THC is basically the active molecule that makes you feel messed up or high. But I'm not talking about her. What I am talking about is the golden child, hemp, which thanks to the US 2018 Farm Bill, opened a ton of doors for not only consumption, but for farmers to make money, for people to distribute, and for a ton of research to start being done. Now, how does cannabis work within our bodies? Well, our bodies are extremely intelligent. Like I said, our bodies have an endocannabinoid system, ECS for short. The endocannabinoid system has 2 different types of receptors, and those receptors are located everywhere, from your brain to your organs, to your immune system, to your nervous system, everywhere. So our bodies are really geared towards working with this plant. Neat, right? Funny fact, or not so funny, this plant was actually nicknamed the mother plant before it was made illegal because of the benefits women saw from using this plant. So, what makes hemp and marijuana different? The THC. Hemp does not contain THC. It does at times contain a trace amount of 0.3%, which is allowed by the Farm Bill. It's not enough to mess you up, but if you're extremely sensitive, I highly recommend finding a THC-free formula. Now, formulas, right? Well, the CBD market, 2018, exploded. It exploded. Who wouldn't want to sell cannabis for a living, right? I mean, come on. Well, with the cannabis market exploding, it kind of hasn't had a chance to set gold standards. So there's a lot of kind of sketchy products out there. So when I started my CBD journey, I wanted to find quality, transparency, and ideally organic. Because if you know your girl, you know I love organic. And I found it. Not only did I find it, I used it for a year. And I saw excellent results. So when I had a chance to become an affiliate with this company, I jumped for it. Nuvita CBD has not only set the standards of the CBD game, they have exceeded them at every turn. This company is a woman-owned company. This company is an organic company, and this company releases what is called COAs on every batch. COA is basically testing for high metals, mold, toxins, pesticides, all the stuff I don't want to put in my body. This company is amazing, okay? She supports other women and she gives back to victims of trafficking. That's awesome. So if you are interested in anything that I speak about, I have a link in my bio, and I also have a discount code that I will put below that will save you a ton of money. And being 420, there are a ton of specials, so go check it out. So Nuvita, CBD, right? What is CBD? Well, this is Nuvita's CBD. And CBD is something that I use for controlling my stress response. If you know me, I love to be in the woods, surrounded by plants, covered in dirt. But life doesn't allow me to stay like that, so I really, really hate crowds and being around a ton of people. I just get really anxious about it. So I use CBD when I know I'm going to be walking into a stressful situation. I also use it when I'm working with my mother-in-law. If you know, you know, but shh. Anyways, CBD is wonderful for mitigating my stress response. CBD has been shown to work on our pain receptors, which in the future I look forward to seeing future research come out, because we are a nation entrenched in an opioid epidemic, and anything that works on the pain receptors, I am excited to see. Another great thing is CBD has been studied as a neuroprotectant. Basically, it protects your brain, right? Neat, huh? So I've also done a ton of research because I'm a nerd that reads research paper, and the way that CBD works on our serotonin receptors works kind of like an antidepressant. So maybe one day this could be a alternative, right? We can all hope. Now, to my baby. And this baby is literally life. Like, this is my third bottle. I love this stuff like a religion. It's amazing. CBG comes from this small plants. It's basically the stem cell of the cannabis plant or the hemp plant. And the thing about CBG is when you purchase CBG, you need to purchase from a reputable source. Because of the trace amounts, it's really hard to extract. So if you're not extracting from a reputable company, you can get a couple extras in there that you don't really want. So what do I use CBG for? Well, I'm a woman that wears many hats. I am self-employed, and I'm a full-time student at the end of her educational part, which means I'm handing in a ton of tests and assignments, and basically my brain is on the fritz. Yep, that's how it is. I think about plants all day. Basically, I use CBG for focus, concentration, and memory. And it is the reason that I attribute myself to having a almost 4.0 GPA, because this stuff is literally what I use before every time I study, every time I take a test. Anything that I have to retain, I use CBG before. It's helped me a lot, and that's what I personally absolutely love this one for. Another great thing is this actually works on the inflammation receptors in the gut, meaning that it could be on the frontier one day for a natural way to deal with IBS or IBD. It works on the inflammation markers, reducing inflammation in the gut. Neat, right? So that's CBG. She's my babe. I love her forever. Now, the next one, CBN. And the crazy thing about CBN is CBN was actually first discovered in 1896. Yeah, it's been studied since then. A lot of people use CBN for insomniatic tendencies. It helps you fall asleep, helps you stay asleep, and that's what I've heard a lot of people use it for. What do I use it for is a little different. I use it, at night, 30 minutes before I go to bed, but I use it for muscle recovery. I'm a person that loves to work out, I love to lift weights, and I love leg day, which makes me sore. So I use CBN to help speed up my recovery time and kind of help with the delayed onset muscle soreness. It's been wonderful for that, and I have noticed that my recovery time has been sped up immensely. I highly, highly recommend it for that, and I love it for that. Now, the cannabis plant is not something to be afraid of, okay? We need to remove that taboo. It's something that's old, and we just need to give it up. The cannabis plant is a wonderful plant and a wonderful ally to work with. I always recommend quality, and if you've ever had a negative experience, it's most likely due to the poor quality. With Nuvita, you don't really run that risk, and I have had nothing but positive results. I have a link in my bio that will definitely save you some money and a discount code. And being that it's 420, go and pick you up some of her flower. It does not give you that messed up feeling, but leaves you happy. Happy 420, everybody, and stay high.